Hello and welcome to Satoshi Economy, honest global crypto news and info. Today's video is an alarm. I'm sounding an alarm. I'll be bringing up about 10 points about events and circumstances and situations that are taking place around the world as we speak. And please see the show notes for additional information. My subscribers really want hyperlinks so that they can go further down the rabbit hole, if you will. And this backs up everything that I discussed. This is not just my opinion. There's a lot of people talking about some things that are going on here. And this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence. You are responsible for your own actions. Just a quick word about myself. I named my company Satoshi Economy because I don't care about getting my name and my face out there. What I care about is the message. Satoshi Nakamoto invented blockchain technology and Bitcoin, which is an application on top of that computer science breakthrough. And it's not as important to know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. No one even knows or knows who they are. But it's more important just to know what the technology is and that it works. I call Satoshi Economy honest global crypto news and info because I endeavor to produce a news and information product that is based not on my opinion or just on the mainstream, lamestream, fake stream, CNLSD media. I certainly do watch those to temper some of the things that are going on, but I literally have hundreds and hundreds of sources that I peruse to. What ends up happening is that what comes to the surface is a consensus, some widely accepted facts or truths or practices, and then I just report on that for you so that you can gather your own opinion or develop your own opinions on things that will then therefore help you to make good choices, specifically financially and economically. With that, some of the things that are going on are today there is reports about the stock market. In the month of December, the rate of decline looks like it's going to be the worst decline in stock market in the stocks since 1931. Now that's 87 years. So someone who would even remember that would be a centenarian. This is the scope of some of the things that are going on. This is huge. So officially, well, we've been in a bull market for 10 years, so we're well overdue for a correction or an extended bear market, but more likely a collapse or a crash. A bear market technically is a 20% drop in values and stocks continually over a 60-day or more period of time, and we're in a bear market right now. Ron Paul today came out with a podcast, and he stated that he believes there will be about a 50% drop in the stock market, and is kind of a baseline. In other words, probably more. This is a problem. It's been a problem for over 100 years with the launch or the inception of the Federal Reserve Bank in 1913. What that means is that, pardon me, there's been a fractional reserve lending system. If I have $1, then I can lend out $10 and charge interest on all 10 instead of just the one. So $9 is just created right out of thin air. And so there's, in other words, debt. And globally today, all over the world, sovereign nations have accepted those same practices. One of the most important events in human history was in 1971 when Richard Nixon took the USA off of the gold standard, essentially making the dollars a fiat currency or a currency by decree. and it's not backed by precious metals anymore. They can just print as much of it as they want without having any solid hard money backing it up. So all of the sovereign nations have accepted this practice. They have central banks which control the money supply and interest rates. Iran does not, I understand. I don't know of any other country which has not implemented this fractional reserve lending system or this central banking, but it's global and it's worldwide. Some people estimate the global debt at $1 quadrillion with a Q. U.S. says that their debt is between 21 and 22 trillion, but that doesn't account for social programs such as Medicare or Social Security, and certainly doesn't account for all the derivatives that are there. Well-regarded, highly esteemed economists suggest that the actual debt for America is between 300 and 400 trillion with a T. There's the so it's just impossible to quantify because there's so much debt. Eventually, it's got to come down. It's got to crash. It's not sustainable. So with what's going on with the stock market, what we're seeing is what seems to be an increase in the rate of decline. In 1929, it dropped about 88%. So it'd be good. It's a signal for us to pay closer attention to our own personal finances and make some astute decisions based on data and information and knowledge, not on emotion. There's the yellow vest movement that is taking place in France, civil unrest. There's a lot of civil unrest that's going on around the world, but this certainly signals, this is huge in France and certainly signals for more. I remember one commentator said that in a society, once food costs 40% or more of what someone has to spend, that it causes revolution. I'm not sure specifically about all that, how that breaks down in France, but certainly there's some huge civil unrest going on over there. There is 1,000,000% inflation annually in Venezuela, y'all. 1,000,000% annual inflation in Venezuela. People are taking their boxes of diapers and selling them for food there. And it's truly because of corruption in the leadership in the government there. Very clear misuses. The IMF, the International Monetary Fund, reported in September that for 9 of the last 10 quarters, the United States of America has had a decline in the dollar reserves in the central banks. What this foretells or suggests is that as far as the dollar being a world reserve currency, that those things are becoming imbalanced, and it could portend a change in the dollar as being the world reserve currency. In the next coming years, certainly Putin and Trump, America, India, and China will be significant world players. So when we hear what's going on with the trade wars, suggest you pay attention to some of that's going on. There is Malta. If you hear about what's going on in Malta, there is they are very crypto friendly. They're inviting blockchain technologists. There have been conferences that have been going on there, inviting people globally. Their infrastructure, their legislation is very, very crypto friendly. One of the most noteworthy is Binance, which is a decentralized exchange, moved their operations to Malta because of the crypto-friendly legislation. Japan legalized cryptocurrency over a year ago. because of what's been going on in Japan, they've had really a huge lack of growth for a couple of decades at least. So they are really looking for some things that will spur some economic growth there. Wyoming, the state of Wyoming, is the most crypto-friendly state in America. They have passed legislation into law, and they have what's known as 100% backed banking. Now, they won't be doing lending like all of the fractional reserve-based lending banks associated with the Federal Reserve Bank, but it really is a crypto-friendly banking bank. Ukraine, there's a lot going on there. They are very crypto-friendly. I understand that in Rwanda they're trying to, there's things going on there. I think, I may be wrong, but I think they're trying to develop their own particular digital currency. Last week, Calgary launched their own citywide cryptocurrency. They'll have a dynamic in there where there'll be rewards for using it, and then therefore the citizens will be able to have some advantages monetarily for the use of the digital currency there for payments of all kinds of sorts. Also, Australia, I understand there's a lot going on there, crypto friendly. Now, again, what I'm talking about here, this isn't financial advice. It's you're responsible for your own decisions. So do your own due diligence. What I did in 2008 was I took every penny of a 401k out. Now, the professionals would say, oh, you can't do that, but actually you can. And I took it out, and you have to pay a 20% penalty immediately. So that's considerable. And so I'm not suggesting that y'all do it, but I'm just saying this is something that you can consider. But in doing that, you get cash immediately, and instead of looking at what could potentially, as Ron Paul says, be a 50% drop in your 401k or your stocks, or a 70 or 80%, or even a 90% haircut, it's a great thing. So what I do is I dollar cost average. I've been buying cryptos, silver Eagle dollars is exceptional. Suggest for you to consider even buying 1964 and earlier dimes and quarters. Those will be extremely utilitarian. They may be used for purchases. They'd be good to have on hand. They'll be very acceptable. Dollars themselves would be probably a smooth move to have on hand also. Real estate, gold. So just some things to think about. Bitcoin certainly, and maybe another one or two cryptos. Silver, gold, real estate, dollars. Of course, I have a passion for cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin because of the decentralization of control, because it really levels the playing field for the common man for wealth participation and wealth creation like nothing else in the history of mankind. It's instantaneous, it's borderless, it promotes free market, promotes price discovery and competition, and certainly liberty. It's the only thing that's ever separated military-minded riches in history. So it's incredible. But that's pretty much a wrap. If you like some of the things that you've heard, or please click on the blue planet there, like, subscribe, share, click the notification bell, because those things help get the message out. It certainly helps me to be able to do more, and I appreciate that very kindly. Until next time, peace.